Welcome back everyone, Drake Hawkins here. We're back in Factorio for some more Let's Play of There Is No Spoon Achievement. We have some, we're back where we were at the end of last one, of course. I'm recording absolutely everything here. We're not going to cut anything out except for a noisy yap before I turn the mic on. So what we're doing here, we're running our belt through, and we're going to be heading our belt up past this. We said we needed to run the main bus of the iron and the copper along here. We'll eventually bust the steel along here as well. Probably pull a copper or a coal line down to run it along as well. We might grab coal from up here for the other part of the inputs, but we've got the smelters. Last time we ran one smelting line here in the second video for our iron. We doubled that up with a second iron here. We've now got copper, 24 drills running up to this to feed the 24 furnaces up here. And then the copper comes down along the bottom and the iron comes in along the top. Double line of iron. It'll be a double line of copper eventually too, because we're going to put another copper in here. And then we'll add more as we go. So more smelters are going to run along here. And by the time we get out to about here, past this copper line, we'll be heading up and doing other things in here, our oil processing and our circuit networks development and so on. So for right now, we have these lines that we're running through here. So, pardon me, this episode, we're going to need a lot of these assembling machines. We're going to need a lot of inserters, fast inserters, and we're going to need a complete ton of these belts, because there we go, because we're out already. I'm going to run up top here and I'm going to throw down a chest up above here somewhere, and we're just going to unload all of this wood except for maybe one stack or two. The iron and the coal, you know what, I don't care, it can go in there too. The iron and the stone, it can go in there as well. This coal I'll just throw on the line here. How is our power doing, by the way? We should be checking that at this point every video. So right now we're using 5 megawatts of power with those units online, and they're not even all, yeah, I think they're all running fairly quickly. Most of it, if you look at the list, most of it's going to be, pause it so it holds the numbers, 62 drills that we're running. So we got 24 in the bottom there. We got 2 of them up here. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and another 30 over here. So that gives us an easy way to count it. Excellent. So we got 30 drills over here providing our iron supply. That's not enough when we put these both into steel, but it is enough. You can see they're compressing the lines nicely. It is enough now once we have them being used as stone furnaces, because we're using stone furnaces now. So, and then a lot of power is being consumed, or a little bit more power I should say, is being consumed by the inserters themselves. So most of what we're using power wise, 3.6 of our 4.6 megawatts is our drills. Whether they're online or not, they do use power. So that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. I wanted to get away from that. There we go. So what was I doing? Oh yes, grabbing some resources. Give me more belts. We set that up at the end of last episode, which will really help things out. I'll grab some gears just so we got some online. 1,200 of that. Probably don't need that much, but that's all right. So we got our well, we were going to put one more in here, right? There we go. So hopefully it'll get a... no, it really won't, will it? Okay, that's fine. Our gears are boxing a little bit of gears, and then they're going to box a whole lot of... Yeah, you know what? I do need that in there. I'm going to up this guy to fast. The gears are low priority. We'll snag what we got there. We'll come back for this later. So that's going to bang out really fast amounts of belts. So aside from that, because we've got that coming automatically, let's put out a bunch more of these. And that'll turn into fast inserters. And then we're going to put out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 27 of the... Wrong way. Of the assembly machine 2s. We're going to replace all our red science with assembly machine 2s. And then we're going to replace then we're going to build our green science all out of assembly machine 2s as well. I don't like these not being in the way, so we can't see the belt. and the belt is actually going to be expanding in this network as well. So we'll have to go through there. How far are we going up? Another, say, the edge of these trees here. So let's go clear everything down here, and then we can leave the forest to the south for later. Maybe we'll have, I don't know, better weapons to clear the forest with. But one thing about the forest, I know for those of you who are new to this, the game has a very, very complex underlying set of rules that are going on, both physics and biology, so to speak. It simulates a lot of things at once. So every structure that you have that pollutes, and you can see that here on the pollution on the map, you scroll out so you can see your whole base, and then hit Alt. That's the base map. If we hit Alt again, we see this reddish overlay. The thicker red means that's the higher pollution rate. Over here is the mild amount of pollution. It's actually blinking at spots that it's like, oh, see this? This is blinking is the pollution being absorbed. So what's absorbing it? Well, a couple things can absorb it. Nature, you can have trees will absorb pollution and hold back the pollution spread substantially. Water, on the other hand, will spread it fairly quickly because it's just open and it doesn't really absorb as much. Although in real world, water absorbs a lot of pollution. Unfortunate for all the fishy creatures. But in Factorio, you get a deal where you produce a lot of... Ooh, hey, stepped on it. Where you produce a lot of pollution that is going to go over spots that are later houses of the aliens, so to speak. So they're going to be having... you're going to run into spots where there's... I'm trying to figure out this build while I'm chatting. You're going to hit spots where you're actually producing... No, I was going to put an underground there. You're producing so much pollution that you're going to anger the aliens. So the biters, as they're called, the low-level ones are actually biters, and there's medium biters and spitters and so on. They're going to be really upset when you start polluting like a madman. And if the pollution actually goes over their bases, we don't see any on our map right now, but I'm sure outside of this visible area, as the world is random generated and it is infinite in size, the further you go, the more it makes. As we go, we're going to run into spots where, let's run on the belt, where our pollution is reaching over an alien base. And what I was trying to get to in a long-winded way is that you're going to have your pollution absorbed either by nature, or it's going to be absorbed by... Wow, we really came quite a ways, didn't we? Yeah, that's right. That might crowd things later, but we can always go north on that. We're going to come along into... Where to? Say... We're going to put our science loop in here. I think we'll do a loop. Do we do a loop? Yeah, we'll do a loop. And so we can make our science on this side and fire it over to the other side. Or we could make it above and... Yeah, let's go north. So we're going to run our copper line to here for copper and iron to here. And that's where we'll do our logistics stuff. And I'm actually going to run down and run a line on the right... That'll go right by the coal, and that'll be our supply for our science. So let's run a line here. And this will be the feed for our science. Oh. And put an underground for copper. Put a splitter in here. And yeah, there we go. And then our iron can split here. Oh, we're out of splitters. No! 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, while we're here, let's go grab some belts while that works. What are we out of? We're out of iron. That's good for that iron and a couple more copper. See how all this, having these belts helps so much. Or having these smelters really nicely set up really helps. Those buffers really help so you can grab what you need when you need it. Alright, this is going to be our copper, or iron and copper, because both... oh, look at that. We found our mess from before. So we'll put another dump chest here. Actually, put them down a little further closer to the coal. Put a dump chest in there. And we're going to put all that wood back in there. Except for one stack. We're going to throw him away. We don't need that one copper cable. And we'll leave our pump in there. Good. You're done. So goodbye. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Uh-oh, guess what? We're out of steel. Alright, we didn't take any steel with us. So we have... let's drop that there while we're going. We can drop this down here while we're going as well. And we haven't made any steel. Oh yeah, we have. It's all in the furnaces. There we go. We didn't put our outputs. Let's do that while we're here. And of course I just collected it all, so... Or didn't I? I guess I didn't. Alright, so let's grab the steel. It wouldn't hurt to have a bunch on hand. We can get rid of our coal. Actually, we'll run up and check the fuel, or the power supply. Make sure things are going swell still up there. Yeah, we got lots. Well, no, those two aren't feeding a whole lot. These drills sound like they're really, or steam engines sound like they're really working. 5 megawatts? Now they're working at half speed performance. Oh, look at that. So this side's working, this side's never worked. So we're at almost full capacity. That's awkward. Gonna have to go back and see who was the first one to spot that from the early videos. And where is it? There we go. So we got our thing not connected. What? Oh! That's why we had an offshore pump still in our hands. Oh, good job, Drake. You're amazing at this. Alright, so I didn't connect the water. That's helpful. Fishy! Oh, fishy, come here, fishy. Come here, fishy. Oh, hard to fish with your hands because he moves. Right, I didn't make another steel tool. 5, 10, 15, 20. And we'll make some of those. Aziz, light! We'll get us some lights. We'll run around and light things as we go. Okay, so now we got water there. Do we have the underground pump yet? No, because I queued that back up. There we go. How many did we make? 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we'll have 40 of those. Excellent. Now that we've got what we need, the random offshore pump that I thought I made an extra of, now we've got water running in, and we've got our power connected. Oh my gosh. I said it, what, 3 times? Oh, we got all those 10 megawatts of power here. When actually we had none of that right-hand side connected. So we were at 4.7, which was capping our power. That's why the steam engine sounded like they were... Oh, pardon me, Yanni. The steam engine sounded like they were just overworking like mad. If you mouse over them, you see the performance bar on the right and available performance. Available performance should stay full at all times. That means they've got all the hot water they need. I was going to say these ones probably won't because they're already filled up. Water's already boiling. And they're running all running at about half performance. So if you don't see the plumes of steam coming out, or you don't hear them running, or you hear them really running hard, that's probably what's going on. Oh yeah, we don't have any storage for that. So let's up that chest. I do want that chest to have a lot of stuff so we can take care of things if we need to. For now, we are going to, since we're here, and there, we just drag and drop all the blues on top. And we have some iron. Yeah, we got a little bit of iron. And we got a little bit of copper. We did shut off our science. Do we have any more science that's just tech 1, or just red tech only? Red science only. We do have those 2 weapons types, or weapon increases. So this and this, one does bullet damage and one does bullet speed. Shotguns also have a damage and speed, and later the lasers will have those as well. So let's go ahead with bullet damage and the bullet speed while we've got this free time, or free space in our queue to do the research. And we'll connect these so they get a feed as well. What do they do? Oh, well, that's okay. It's not ideal, but it'll do. I'll look at that later near the end of the run, and I'll be like, why was this all set up so poorly? And I'll complain about it. It'll be great. Okay, so those are setting up quite nicely for us, actually. I'm going to put a buffer in here. And we want this buffer to basically be able to, actually it's going to be blue. And we want this buffer to feed us, to fill up the red science, because we might as well use the resources as we have them and fill it up. There's not enough stock there because we don't have our actual supply here isn't connected, so there, get rid of those. And get rid of these. In here, I definitely want to do some work with some stone, so we'll go ahead and get that done if we have time at the end of this episode. Let's run like kind of right across here, actually. How much space did we need? Alright, we're going to run him here. And run, oops, nope, oh, no. Cross the streams, no. Alright, you're going to run here and here. There's our input for our green science. So, green science, what does it need? Well, we need to get rid of all this junk. Green science needs inserters, one inserter and one belt, transport belt. And what it's going to do is produce one of those, or use up one of those, producing at a rate of 1 every 6 seconds. So we're going to have, so we're going to have to match the red at 1% or 2 per second, which is what we produce right now. We're going to output 12 machines as. Really, you need that many lights? We're going to do 12 machines running at green science so that we can output the same amount at 2 per second. Do you have gears? No, this isn't a very fast gear output, is it? Let's grab some more belts while we're here. About half of those. 500 belts should do the job for the rest of what we need. Now we got 51 blue inserters, that should do, 24 of the yellows, and we need more of the these. So we're going to have a belt coming here. And this belt is going to be our green input, our green science will come right down here for now. So let's throw that in there. And it's actually going to go a little longer because we need space at the top for the extra 2 assemblers. I always call them labs, but they're definitely not labs. Labs are those things that actually use the science. This is going to have an input of, on this side for iron, this is going to have an input for copper. And I guess if we bring the extras down at the bottom, so we line him up, say, a little bit above or beside. Let's go right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll do. And we put our input outputs on these guys. We're going to go backwards down the line of tech for for these greens. So we're going to set each of the labs or assemblers in place. I just said I'd call them the wrong thing. Power them up, and then we're going to see what we need. So this is going to produce or require 2 per second of the resources. And the resources needed input is 1 belt, and 1 transport belt, and 1 inserter. So let's power that up. And then run its belt. And we have a situation where we can work out the balancing here of the. Hey, you're going to need to be down here. Okay, that's fine. The buffer chest for the green can be below this. There we go. And buffer chest in there. Blue inserters there and there. Good, online. Let's give the feed belt over here. Now we want one side of this belt to have to input inserters, and we want one side of this belt to input There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want one side to input inserters, we want one side to input transport belts. So transport belts take iron plates and gears. We have that down at the bottom. So let's set that. We've already done that one down here. So let's set that up last because we know exactly how it works. For now, we're going to set up the inserter supply. So let's put the inserter that'll output there, and he's going to need an iron plate. He's going to need an iron gear wheel, and he's going to need a green circuit. So his green circuits are going to come from the bottom from green circuit setup we make. The gear wheels can come from the side. So if we put that there, and then we insert the gears there, we want to insert or output onto this belt, so it's going to go on the far side. So our gears are going to come in from the other side. Oh, hi, weapons. So weapon upgrades. So the next one's going to take green. So let's go back and do that one. That one. What? Where is it? There we go. Bullet shooting speed 1. There we go. Way to make things more complex. So we need to have a belt that comes in here that'll have our iron on it. So he can grab his iron plates, and he can grab his iron plates. Now, let him grab there. Now we need this belt to feed iron, and then we need him to produce our gears. So that'll dump gears straight in here. That'll dump inserters straight onto the belt. We're not going to set up any of these to have buffer chests because the only thing we're using them for is the science, exclusively. So this is going to be a copper line as well there, and this is going to be an iron line coming in here. So we need this guy gone and this guy gone. These are going to upgrade to blues for sure. That can disappear because that's just going to be a solid belt in. So our copper is going to come in there. Our iron's going to go up there. Now, let's see what else we need. So this guy also needs, he's got his iron plates that'll come in here. He's going to have his gear wheels that'll be made there. And he's going to need electric circuits. So we're going to see this 5,300 times. Maybe not quite that much, but really close to that much. This is going to be our basic input design for circuits. Did that leave enough space? No, it didn't. There we go. So this will be, there we go, enough space there now. So these ones are going to produce our copper wire, copper cable, and this is going to produce our circuits, which take one copper what do they take? 3 copper cables and 1 iron plate. So due to the ratios, you can work that out yourself, or I can just tell you, you'll need 1.5 copper cable outputs per 1 green circuit output. So these green circuits are going to output like this. The copper cables, this one's going to output into the middle of that, and then these ones are going to have 1 to each side. So it'll feed whichever side it needs to, and it'll keep itself busy there that way. Now we're going to run that because we're going to have the copper line come across here. Okay? So that's our copper feed to the circuits, and then we can probably run our copper line. We don't need any other copper, right? So let's run our copper line straight on through, so it only needs 1 here, and then we'll put an underground here for the output, and we'll just run him along. There you go. So that'll be where our copper goes. So let's hook that up right away. So this is our copper feed, and it's going to come right up to this guy here. And it's going to be a full line of copper going in. That's all it needs. Now these guys need to be powered up, so let's do that. And that and that. Now the other thing these things need is a iron plates. So we're going to bring the iron plates up. And of course we conveniently did this backwards. It's fine because... Well, because it is. Because it's fine, okay? Just relax. Bring him across. We don't want to waste space when we don't need to, but, you know, don't need to go super overboard with tweaking everything. And this guy is actually going to go across above the spot where it's needed. Come back down here, because we didn't put the source for... Yeah. We didn't put the source for actually having for intaking the copper or the iron, so we'll do that. Off thinking about other stuff and stopping what I'm talking about. So that's going to bring the iron up there, And as long as we power these babies up, we have a supply of no circuits. Okay, so an underground belt, this is the design here. Underground belt's going to go across there and bring this circuit up top, and then he's just going to feed there. And there we go. Inserters feeding, feeding, feeding. We have inserters coming out here. Nice. Just what we wanted. Now, we do want our iron feed to continue up because we want to feed this iron over here. Pardon me, and that'll get our blues or reds back online. Wonderful. One more thing, one more ingredient for the greens is the belts. So we'll do the same sort of deal with our belt build over here. Let's feed it before. Let's take it off before it does the split, so that this split isn't chewed up even more thoroughly. So that just needs a couple more spaces of room here. We'll put that in, and we'll put that in, and then we want the belts to be outputted there. And a couple grabbers. There we go. Now, this is going to, again, like last time down south, get our gears and then our belts. So that take belts and iron plates. We put these guys online, and we are good to go. There's our belts coming out, and they're going to run right up here. We actually want this to continue here so that we can, and we're just going to T-bone this belt here right underneath so it hits on the bottom. So that belt will feed belts on the bottom. This machine will feed the belts on the bottom. This machine will feed our green circuits and feed them into here. This is going to give us the gears for here. That'll feed this going at a steady stream. Look at that. Layup. Every half second it's pumping one out, and it's pumping at the exact same speed that this guy produces his gears. So we're never going to need to buffer anything. That's just a solid feed. We are going to shut that down in a heartbeat once we get our science, because, well, does it? I don't know. Let's do the math. This one takes 100. Good. That one just takes reds. So that'll be our last red-only science, conveniently, because we shut it off for quite a while and forgot about it. Conveniently just in time to do to have our green science going online, which it is right down here. What we got here for speed, let's see. It produced one inserter every half second, so it produces 2 inserters per second. These guys take 6 seconds, so they have 12 of them, so they're 2 per second, so they need 2 inserters per second. So we really, as long as this green science is running, it will produce at a steady balance. Now the assembler over here that's producing belts is actually producing at twice the rate that the inserters are, but that's fine. It'll only utilize half its ability. So that is our green and red science. They are fully belted, and they are fully they'll be fully compressed with our backup there. We already have 70 red science and 170 red science and 70 plus green science set up. So next thing we're gonna do is we got a few more minutes here. We're gonna put out make some more labs. I'm gonna grab some plates and stuff, and I'm gonna sneak it right off here, grab us a chunk of resources here to make ourselves some more research labs. We need to build a science loop, and we need to have, I'd like to have 40 or so, 40 should be fine, science labs in total. And so let's put them in, but we're gonna put it together in a phantom build here. See if we can do that, if we actually click them right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's go like this, and they're gonna 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now normally I would just do, if I was just playing on my own in casual mode, I'd do that. That'd be 20. That would be fine even to the end game with this resource. I'm not sure what the speeds are. You can't really calculate an exact speed, because like this research, for instance, takes 30 seconds to do each process in the lab. So if we had 30, we'd be doing 1 a second, but we can output 2 per second of our science. So we could have 60 of them. Some of them are faster, some of them are slower. It really boils down to the fact that we don't really need to go too hog wild with our science in the end, because we just don't. We won't need the space. Most of this playthrough, the science will just be shut off. So we're going to need a double line of here, because this is going to feed purple and blue on one, red and greens on the other. And we're not even going to loop it around. We're going to stop it right there. And I guess we'll just do a little serpentine S through here with our belts. And that's fine. And connect in... Oh, come on. Turn around. Connect in the belts to... Or connect in the resources. So this is going to have a gap, and this guy's going to come along like this. And he's going to come along like this. We should totally do a giant spaghetti factory someday, and do it like our Italian Ambitions campaign or something, like it's some sort of EU4 campaign. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you are in the way. Awesome, but you know what? You're in the way, but that's all right. And we'll put you guys down here. Actually, we have the 7, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, so we might as well do them with real stuff. And there we go. And there we go. Need another gap there, and this is where the science will come along. Now you could do loop, where it like comes all the way back to the start, but I don't know. Not as if you're pumping out more than your labs can take. If your input is higher than your labs can handle, well, there's not much point to that, right? So we have we're at the end of the show here for today. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you're still liking it. Give us a thumbs up if you are, and do subscribe if you want to see the full story as it unfolds. And thank you so much, and we will see you again in game.